Hey, welcome to the show, Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. This is Coach James Short, aka Shorty. And this is a show for those within the real estate industry wanting to lead and grow their real estate business. It's a series of interviews that we conduct for those within the industry. So we're finding out what those leaders are within the industry, what makes them tick, what's their story, what are their strategies, and how to become the leaders and the growers within the industry. But also, it's an interview series with those outside of the industry. I'm always a big believer of looking at a whole different part of the pie rather than just focusing on one part of the pie. Because what it does, it allows you to have a different perspective, allows you to get snippets or golden nuggets from those outside of the industry that can look in the industry and go, there's a different perspective. And so I encourage you to reach out to the guests. I encourage you to lean into these series to find out how can these pieces of information, experiences, stories help you lead and grow your real estate business. I'm excited for this next guest to be on the show because he is helping agents really stand out in an online presence to help them to generate more listings through their social media, through their marketing, just to be standing out, to really be the attraction-based agency. And it's an honor and a privilege to have from Vision Media, Jacob Muir. Oh my goodness, Jacob, mate, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to see where this takes us. Let's get on and let's get cracking.
Let's do it.
Excellent,
How you
mate. Like,
doing?
very well, thank you. Very well. Now, you used to be an agent. Correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
did. Yep.
Okay. Tell me about how that started. How did you get back and how did you get started out as an agent?
Yeah, so one day I finished university and I was looking for just a career. And I thought, well, these guys, wear suits, they have a lot of money, drive nice cars. So I'm gonna start there, and that's how I got started. So yeah, just went to a different bunch of offices, handed my resume, and very grateful I got an opportunity in Sydney.
Fantastic. And then so you did that for a little while and you got some great success. What sparked the step into the marketing side with Vision Media? Because if you haven't checked out his website, go and check it out because some of the testimonials he's got on there is quite phenomenal. So how did that transition happen? How did that idea come to mind?
Yeah, so I dived into a lot of personal development and just a lot of things happening with people traveling and earning money online. And so that sparked my interest as I was a real estate agent. And I was just honest with myself and didn't really see myself opening up an office and doing all that stuff. So yeah, I kind of dived out, traveled for a bit, and I managed to come back around and start helping real estate agents. So.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And so if you were to unpack how specifically you're helping them at the moment, where do you see their biggest, I guess, frustrations with that space, with the marketing space? What are you seeing as their biggest frustrations?
Yeah, the biggest issues that I find that they have is lack of consistency for a lot of, especially newer agents that are probably lower than 3 listings a month, because they're trying to spend a lot of time getting, the property sold, especially with some areas, longer days on market. And so, if they have to see an owner and they miss prospecting, then they start to lack consistency. So that's where we add most value, as well as for those agents that want to grow their business. And part of running ads is that you actually put yourself out there and, social media presence, all that kind of stuff. But more importantly, we help agents build consistency and get into more doors.
Yeah, fantastic. And how have you seen the landscape of that changed over the years? What are you seeing as the biggest shifts and changes around that landscape?
Yeah, so the biggest changes are just how we market because, when I started in this game about 3 years ago, no one was really marketing and using social media to actually get into doors. Whereas now, you look at places like Queensland, it's just packed full of agents that are running ads. So now, just like a bad market, the good marketers stand out, and those that can innovate and really just understand where things are going and really tap into that. So.
Yeah, fantastic. And where do you see where do you see it going over the next couple of years? I mean, obviously we don't have a crystal ball, but based on some of the trends, where do you see it? Where do you see it going?
Yeah, really good question. So, what I see is most valuable is just building a personal brand on social media, and that involves just putting yourself out there. The biggest thing that I see, which is a shame, is a lot of older agents sometimes haven't adjusted to the times, and so they let their ego get in front of putting themselves on social media. But they are actually some of the most valuable people because if you look at it, they have a large zone of genius, so they're
Mm.
dealing with a lot of different problems. They've got years of experience, but the amount of value that they could provide in content to their end user, which is a vendor, that that would pay in advance for them to sit in their listing appointment in future, is very valuable. But it takes time for a lot of the older agents to actually getting custom and really come to terms with that.
And what
So.
would you recommend? It's a really good point. What would you recommend if an older agent was listening to this? What would be, I guess, one or two steps or actions they could take to start to move into that space that you've recommended? Hey guys, just a little side note here. How's it going? Are you on track this year? I know that sometimes this part of the year we can feel like we're in a bit of a grind, a bit of in the trenches. Are you on track from the original plans that you set out for the rest of this year? What I've realized is that between with this time of year, we get so distracted and we've got trying to chase so many shiny balls and go down so many rabbit holes. And that's why I created a program called the 90. It's a framework that actually allows you to achieve more in 90 days than ever before. Some of the feedback that we've got from some of the people that have used the process, the 90, is that they've achieved more in 90 days than the whole previous year. So if you'd like to have the tools, have the techniques, have the framework on the 90, so you and your team can achieve more in 90 days than ever before. What it does, and it impacts you of how to get clear, what you need to do, and who you need to be to show up in order to achieve the things you want to achieve over the next 90 days. Simply head over to jamesshort.com.au, click on join the waitlist, fill in your details, and one of the team members will be in touch and take you through the 90 framework. On with the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because social media and building and putting out content is a long-term game.
Yep.
A lot of the stuff that we do is paid ads. Social media, we push on our agents as a must, but it's more of a long-term play. So I think if they're able to see short-term wins with ads, then that'll really help open their mind a little bit to what's possible. But again, social media is so valuable, but it's a long-term play. So if you can keep consistent at it, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, you'll find that people will start to get in touch with them rather than them having to prospect if they haven't already got referrals. So
And I guess that's I guess when we look at marketing and also branding, so often they would spend a certain money in paper ads, but not knowing the return or not knowing the specific eyeballs that have reached those ads where we go social media ads, for example, as you mentioned, you actually can see that return on that investment, engagement views and traction, so to speak. So in relations to you would have seen a bunch of like social media ads out there in the past. What makes a good ad compared to a not so good ad? What would you say? What would be the difference around that?
a really good question. So a good ad is something that doesn't look like an ad. It's very native to the platform. A bad ad is something that is too professional. It looks like an ad because people are accustomed. People's attention spans are very, very short these days. So if you're able to make something look look organic and just more real from a smartphone, then you'll find more success. But the more professional it is, the worse it's going to perform.
It's so like counterintuitive, isn't it? Like you would think that the more professional, the staging and all that, the better the impact. Like, and I guess that for the older generation to get their heads around that, I think that would also be a barrier for them to take action too, because I think they may, correct me if I'm wrong, but they might be thinking, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, got to do this before I even take action. So it's the ability, as you said, about taking that action and being consistent with it, but then having those, even with your smartphone, put some ads and time around of getting some ads done around that. Would that be fair call to say?
Yeah, I think it just starts. It's just like trying to list your first property. You overthink it, but it just takes picking up the phone and calling someone. You know what I mean? So, if you just start somewhere, you'll find that eventually you understand what works well with your audience. And yeah, I mean, look, a special case might be luxury properties where you do have to invest a bit more into branding, and it's differently received because you're a um smarter clientele with more money, so they have a different thinking process. But generally speaking, any form of content that is solving a problem or saving a potential homeowner's money. For example, you might say, why choosing the cheapest agent is going to cost you the most money?
Mm.
Things like that is valuable to a customer that they don't understand. They just think, oh, this guy's going to charge me 1%. I'll choose him. And sometimes that's not the best negotiator. So yeah.
Yeah, so true, so true. So what wouldn't you post, or what wouldn't you put in relations to your social media plan? What are some of the real big no-nos when it comes to your social media?
Okay. No, no. So you want to keep things fresh and you want to always change things because the more that something stays there, you'll find that the more it costs you, and you just have to keep things fresh. So I think that's the biggest mistake is people just keep the same thing. So you really have to try and keep things fresh every month or 2 months.
Yeah, nice, nice. And what are some of the projects that you guys are working on at Vision Media? What's the horizon look like for you guys?
Yeah, so we recently expanded overseas into the US. We want to make sure that we've done things well in Australia and New Zealand, and we've done that. But yeah, just expanding internationally. So that's the next thing.
Yeah, nice. And do you see that expansion, like, is it different like in relations to, obviously, we're selling houses, right? But in relations to the marketing and the market itself, is there much of a difference between Oz and America in what you guys do?
The foundations are very much the same. However, you'll find that America, they're probably the quickest to adapt things, and then last will be New Zealand. So the trends are very much ahead in America, and then probably New Zealand is probably the latest to receive and run those things. So
Yeah,
yeah,
interesting. Interesting. On the show, we have a 60-second quiz to find out more about our guests. Are you willing to play?
let's do it.
All right, fantastic. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? That's a good one. Oh, well, I'd have to say series.
Yeah.
I'd have to say series. Yeah. Probably Narcos.
Nice. Cool. Favorite food?
Pasta.
Nice. Favorite holiday destination?
I would say Cuba. I haven't reached there yet, but it's on the books.
Yeah, nice. What's your morning routine?
Wake up, journal, future, and get into some gratitude, and then hit the gym.
Yeah, nice. Do you have an evening routine?
Evening routine, mostly just working. Mostly
Yep.
just working.
Cool. What's your most embarrassing moment?
I would probably say starting in real estate. Yeah.
Yep.
I had my first test was I had to call probably 100 people, and at that time I was a very different person, and it was an open office. It was just me calling. Very, very, a lot of pressure in my mind, but it was probably the best career I've ever been through for sales because you get slapped in the face and you have to go through so many boundaries. And I think a lot of people don't appreciate as marketers. And one thing that's helped me is as a real estate agent, you're not just someone selling nice properties. You got to be a negotiator. You got to be a psychologist sometimes for people going through divorces. So many different things. So I think it's if they're looking at a career or sales job, it's probably one of the best ones out there.
Yeah, fantastic. If you could choose or invite five people to dinner, five inspirational people to dinner, who would they be? They could be dead or alive.
Yeah, awesome. So um, I would say Carnegie. He's a great author, also a millionaire in the past. Five people. Oof. I'll probably say Gavin Rubinstein. He's a gun. Um, and Wes Watson. He's one of my past mentors. He's an absolute beast.
Nice, fantastic. You got two more. Any
I couldn't
others?
think.
Okay,
I
that's
couldn't.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
If you were prime minister for the day, what's one thing that you would change?
I would probably just focus on personal development. I think there's a lot of conditioning in society that really holds people back from their potential. So I'd probably focus on personal development and trying to help people grow personally.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And what's your best piece of advice?
Best piece of advice, I would just say keep your word. If you say something, just keep your word, start there, and soon you find that you have a lot more confidence.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it. That's so true. And how can the audience reach out, follow you, get in contact with you? What's the best way?
Yeah, best way would be via our website. So I've got an email, Instagram there. People can reach out to me. Yeah,
Fantastic. We'll put that into the notes, visionmediaagency.com. Yeah.
that's the one.
Fantastic. Jacob, really appreciate it, mate. Thank you for jumping on and sharing your wisdom and your expertise. And once again, it's been awesome to have you on the show.
Thank you.